Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold and this is Psycho Gold Videos. Now, today we are going to be checking out a new season. Now it's not new in as much as it's not currently airing, it's not new as in it's relatively recent, but it is new to the channel, it is new to me, and it's one that I have had the occasional request to check out. I lie. It's in my recommended to watch pretty much on a daily basis. All of my friends seem to really enjoy this show, and I know for a fact that this is one of DeeBeeGeek's favorite seasons, and he has said to me about watching this many times. Now, I've kind of avoided this show for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's 148 episodes, which I know in the world of anime isn't that much. But I struggle to get through seasons that have 12 episodes sometimes, depending on how badly things are going in real life. And the idea of trying to commit to such a long series that I can't take breaks from, yeah, that's a bit of a daunting task. I used to be able to do that without any issues, so why not? Why not give it a go? And at the end of the day, if I do need to take a break to do stuff in real life, so be it. It'll just be the case. The other reason why I've been avoiding this show is because I know from watching DeeBeeGeek try to react to this show that it is not one that people who control its copyright like reactions to. Now, as there's 148 episodes, I am not going to basically waste my time editing episodes twice, knowing full well that there's a very good chance that Hunter x Hunter will just immediately get blocked. So I have decided something that I hope people will like, and I thought about it after watching Rise of the Shield Hero get blocked. So here's how it's going to work. Over on Patreon, Hunter x Hunter will be posted first, by quite considerable time, and there will be multiple episodes posted when it happens majority of the time. Might be the occasional time where I just post a couple, but there's probably going to be multiple episodes whenever I do post Hunter x Hunter. Then it will be posted at the $10 tier, which is where all of my newer stuff that isn't a seasonal anime gets posted first, and then once it's been on the $10 tier for a week or whenever my next upload is, I then put it down to the $5 tier, and once the $5 tier has had the uploads available to them for a full week, I then tend to put stuff on YouTube. That's how I used to do My Hero Academia. That's how I intend to do My Hero Academia until I finish it, along with many other shows that aren't currently airing right now. Here's the thing. All of my other shows, you get to see a cut version, even if I do redirect links, because uncut reactions is a thing that I do exclusively for patrons. However, I have decided that Hunter x Hunter is going to be an exception to that rule, and Hunter x Hunter is only going to have early access on Patreon. However, that does mean that to offset that, people who are on my Patreon will be seeing Hunter x Hunter massively ahead of YouTube. So for example, if I post 6 episodes on Patreon, there may only be 1 episode or 2 episodes posted in the same week on YouTube. So Patreon is going to be massively ahead of Hunter x Hunter than where you are on YouTube. But if you aren't able, or you don't want to go on Patreon, which is completely fine, nothing against anyone who doesn't want to, you still will get to see uncut reactions to the entire episodes in the form of redirects. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have no footage whatsoever in my YouTube uploads. Only the review section, only me talking is going to be in what I put on YouTube. And that, hopefully, will mean that I won't waste tons of time trying to get stuff sorted. BitChute and Breach TV are 2 YouTube-like sites that I've been using. I can't necessarily commit to putting everything on a Google Drive or putting everything on Mega because there's so many episodes, it's going to take up a lot of file storage, and if Breach TV, which is allows you to do it in high definition, and I can keep everything private so that only people with my Patreon and then with the links will be able to get access to the episodes. That could be a great solution. That means I don't have to worry about storage, and I've used it recently for Rise of the Shield Hero. Haven't seen any issues with it. Doesn't seem to track views at all. It just says everything has 0 views, but I don't care how many views it has on a platform that I'm not worrying about the views for. That's purely a YouTube thing. So that could be what I do with Hunter x Hunter. Either way, however I do it, I'll make sure that it is something that works. But either way, the important thing is everybody is going to be able to see the uncut reactions eventually. But if you want early access, if you want to be up to date with where I am, Patreon is the place to be. Feel free to go and check it out. The link is in the description below. I'm hoping that some of you guys will join us there. We have a great community of people over there. I get some very in-depth comments from people about some of the anime. And by becoming a patron, you'll also be able to watch currently 2 shows that aren't available on YouTube. High School DxD will eventually, if I ever get around to editing them. But Irregular Magic High never will, so you'll have plenty of stuff to watch once you've gotten through the Hunter x Hunter episodes. That's probably a long enough intro as it is. If you're watching this on YouTube, then this is the part where I'm going to be saying click on the link in the description, and then come back here after you've finished watching it. If you're watching this on Patreon, then sit back, relax, and let's watch episode 1 of Hunter x Hunter. I don't know exactly what this episode is. I don't really know much about the storyline of Hunter x Hunter. I've just heard so many good things about it. I don't want to be spoiled, so I'm going in pretty much blind as to what exactly I've got in store for me. So without further ado, let's check out episode 1. Hey guys, so this is the part where you need to click on the link in the description. I won't be doing this in every single video, recording a segment for it, but I've kind of changed my mind as to how I'm going to do this as I've been thinking about it. So, you need to click on the link, and it will take you to a Breach TV link, and that link will allow you to watch my episode entirely uncut, but it will also feature the same intro you've already seen, and the commentary at the end will also be present, because these are the same video files that I upload to Patreon. Originally, I was going to do edited versions for YouTube. However, I've since thought about it and realized even though I don't have to do any real editing, the amount of time it's going to take me to render these episodes is really not worth it. So yes, it means there's a little bit more legwork. Hopefully you guys will still come back here to watch the review, to leave your comments, etc. But it's entirely up to you at the end of the day. You can always just watch the review there if you prefer, and then drop a comment here. That's fine too. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy the reaction. If you want a time code to when exactly the episode starts, obviously the time is exactly the same as here on YouTube, so just go to the same number as whenever this segment started. I will probably link it for you in the description, or I'll put a pinned comment with the number if you need it. Either way, dudes, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a second. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Hunter x Hunter episode 1, and wow, that episode was way more than I was expecting for a first episode. So much went down, man. Compared to some of the first episodes I've seen of some other shows that kind of start off slower or smaller, that one kind of just went go. I don't know, man, like that seemed like a really good hook to get you into the season. They didn't really go into too much with Gon, but they did give you a pretty good indication of his character's motivations and why it is that he wants to be a hunter. Not so much his personality or his abilities, but you know, he managed to catch the Lord of the Fish, which means he's got a lot of strength in him despite his relatively small size physically. And later on they showed he's very athletic, very acrobatic. He can somehow talk to animals, maybe. And he's got a very keen sense of smell. If he could smell the storm coming, which I find interesting. And everybody seems to recognize him mostly because of like his eyes and his voice. So he's obviously very similar to his dad. and the captain recognizes Ging, which is Gon's father's name as far as I can tell. And yeah, that's just really interesting, all the similarities that they're making between the two of them. They're obviously very close to each other, both in terms of the way they act, the way they look, and how they choose to deal with situations, which is interesting considering that he chose to be a hunter rather than raise his son. And that does seem a bit weird. If, you know, they're very similar to each other, you'd think that he would have chosen to stay, but maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe we'll find out as the season goes on. The other characters that were introduced seemed like they were going to be pretty cool side characters as well. I'm just going to call him Leo, and please feel free to tell me whether or not the blonde dude is male or female, because I'm still not really convinced. But I like the way that their characters were introduced. We got to see that they were able, you know, like the captain said, they were a bit tougher than maybe they first appeared to be. They were, you know, not really fussed by the storm or the ridiculous waves that the captain had to navigate. And then obviously they showed off their personalities, one having this really serious backstory where he is on a mission of revenge, and the other is basically there for his own personal greed and gratification, but he has absolutely no issues telling, well, he does have issues, he doesn't want to tell people his motivations, but, you know, he's not embarrassed by it, it doesn't bother him, and I don't think it should. At the end of the day, if you are motivated by money and, you know, you have the skills to back it up, why should you have to hide it? He's obviously got some skill, otherwise he wouldn't be trying to take the hunter exam and the captain wouldn't have passed him. I thought we were going to get to see the two of them, even if it was only short, get a little bit of a spar, but the fact that it was then broken up by one of the crew members going overboard, they both immediately acted to try and save him. Yes, they failed, but then Gon jumped through and they grabbed Gon, and I like the fact that neither one of them realized that Gon did that deliberately, knowing that both of them would catch him. Now, I might be reading too much into that, but that's the way I understood that scene, with Gon basically saying, well, yeah, but you guys were there, of course you were going to catch me. And they were kind of like, huh, yeah, I suppose. And it was just really interesting to see the way that Gon just seems to be able to see through people and look at their personalities and see immediately like what their true characters are. Like, he seemed to instinctively know to just talk to the captain, and he seemed to know that he could trust those two to grab him, and he wasn't going to let that other crew member fall into the water. He would have rather have risked his own life to save him than just let that happen. And obviously he was trying to save everybody when he realized that there was a storm coming, so he's clearly got quite a deep sense of doing the right thing instilled in him, I think. As for the storyline itself, I thought it was an interesting introduction with the Whale Island, and then, you know, seeing that he was an orphan, seeing that he was been raised by these other two, this woman and this elder woman, that everybody seems to know who his dad is, everybody knew that he wants to be a hunter, and that in order to be a hunter he had to catch this monster, which he did. And obviously his adoptive mother, I'm guessing, was hoping that he would fail, but he didn't. He's managed it, so he's going away. And I assume that living the life of a hunter means that he's basically said goodbye to all the people he knows on that island for good. Like, the chances of him going back are very minimal. So though that's probably why it was an emotional farewell. Like, if his dad hasn't ever visited him or come back because he's a hunter, obviously the lifestyle must be that of someone who's always traveling, probably always on the road, going from place to place. Sounds very much like being a hunter is like being an adventurer in some of the other animes that we've watched. And that was basically my overall impression of this show. Was it feels like it's going to be an adventure. I'm 99% confident that this is a shonen anime, right? No, yeah, of course it's a shonen anime. It's going to be in Jump Force, so I know that I'm going to be in for a good time. I know that I'm going to be in for a big adventure, and that's kind of what I'm lacking in my current anime lineup. We've got some shows that I'm watching that are good. You know, they've got good stories, they've got interesting characters, but I just want something that's going to be a fun ride and go through the entire spectrum of what makes anime great. And I've heard that that is Hunter x Hunter to a T, so we'll have to see, man. As far as first episodes go, that was a really great one, and I can't wait to check out episode 2. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as it would really, really help the channel. And if you're excited for more Hunter x Hunter and you're new around here, make sure that you are subscribed to Psycho Gold videos. I will be posting more Hunter x Hunter all the way through until we finished, and as I said in the beginning of the video, if you can't wait, if you just want to see more Hunter x Hunter, then feel free to go and check out the Patreon page. The link is in the description below, and please leave some comments down below with your thoughts and feelings in regards to Hunter x Hunter. Specifically the first episode though, I would prefer not to get any spoilers. No, I take that back. I definitely don't want any spoilers. Not prefer, I don't want any spoilers. But I look forward to reading your guys' thoughts, and as always, I enjoy reading your guys' comments. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say on the matter. As always guys, I'm Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.